Hello and welcome to episode 76 of the Late Invoices show. My name's Matt and I'm joined by my co-host Cam.
Hey guys.
Hello, Cameron. New backdrop.
New backdrop, new room,
New backdrop,
house.
new
Technically.
room, new house, new home. Same
Yeah,
girlfriend?
same girlfriend. Of course, we're already married basically.
Yeah,
So,
I can relate.
but yeah,
Um,
man. Yeah. It's been really good. It's honestly, man. What is it? We're on the 9th of May. I think for the last week, it's just been moving stuff and new boxes arriving every day, and then you're unpacking them, and then it's like, oh, forgot about the bed frame. Great, that's tomorrow taken up then.
we all know how stressful moving is, and the list never ends in terms of
uh,
it's just wardrobes putting together, bed putting together, just drawer
shelves on the
whatever it is,
walls. Yeah.
shelves like. But mate, like the office is starting to take shape. Are they the new prints you ordered that are on your wall?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, so you can't see it, but I've got an arcane print just like off to the side, Spider-Verse, and then also Invincible. And what's been great as well is I've really taken the time to, I painted the walls green. I really, did ChatGPT AI generations to try and figure out like what colors
Yeah.
would go together and stuff like that. And I've got like actually shelves in front of me, that I'll populate with plants. These are just two plants, but
By the way, I didn't
um,
realize you had Thor's hand with the jet.
Thanos. That's
That's so
Thor.
Thor.
Thor. That is a Marvel
No,
comic
yeah. Sorry,
sin right
Thanos. I
there.
didn't realize you had the glove with all the gemstones.
Yeah. I've got the glove. I've got the Lego version. I have a giant Spider-Man statue, which I haven't put up yet. And I also have a giant Hulk statue, which well, it's in bubble wrap. Otherwise, I'd go into the other room and get it. But
Yeah,
it's probably like this big.
I love it.
So it's just gonna
It's
go.
like the ultimate nerd den. It's great.
Yeah, yeah. But it's been great to like really lean into. Okay, like because in London especially, like you don't want to spend money on £30 on a poster because I'm going to put it on the wall and then maybe a year later you might move out of your place or
Yeah.
whatever. Whereas this time I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to do it. And so yeah, I just got a bunch of posters, measured everything. I've got my speakers on the wall now. So I've really kind of put time and energy and money into just making my space the way I want it to be. And
Yeah.
I've got a box of collectibles that I haven't opened in 4 years. So that
Wow.
Thanos gauntlet was in that box for 4 years because there was no point. Where are you going to put it in a house share in your
Yeah.
room?
Yeah.
So there's space now. So yeah, it's been really good, man. And yeah, I'm excited to. As soon as I've set the camera up on my laptop just to do this podcast, nothing else is set up. So as soon as we finish this, I'm going to go back to uh, doing stuff.
Unpacking.
But yeah, but it's so
Yeah.
good, man. It's so good. You forget like how good it is to, I don't know, be sitting in your own space. I
Yeah.
remember I was hearing someone talk about how when you have pictures on the wall, and it's like inspiring, but in different ways because you can look at like that picture or that art piece, and depending on your mood and depending on what you're going through that week, you can look at it and get inspired in different ways.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to looking at Spider-Man and Invincible and Arcane and being like, inspire me, bro. Come on.
Nice man. It is a game changer. It is a game
Mm.
changer. But no,
Yeah,
it's
man.
good that you've got like your own place now and like a base that you know you're going to be at for a while and like a place to
Oh
call
yeah.
home. So it's nice.
Yeah. A proper work-life balance. But also, I'm ready to. I know that I don't know. I've been kind of doing my own stuff for a little bit, but I'm also kind of ready to, now that I'm here, like really crack back down again and
Yeah. Do
being
some
here for
work.
like 9 hours and just putting some work and stuff.
Yeah. Nice.
And maybe even post on social a little bit more as well.
Nice man.
Might have
It's
to.
exciting.
You'll see my favorite camera lens from Matt, and then from me you'll see my favorite camera lens from Cameron. I'll just copy your content, mate.
Do
Only
it, mate.
joking.
Do it. Do it. All content is copied. All content is copied. So, is the plan for the weekend as well? Just to just keep moving some bits around then, and just keep unpacking.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend the rest of today unpacking everything and getting it all set up, and then hopefully on the weekend I can actually enjoy it. And then I think the
Yeah.
bed frame arrives on Tuesday.
Nice.
And then I'm at a wedding next Friday. So
Have you got a garden? Have you got a garden?
we do, yeah, but there's nothing on it, and it's like concrete, but it's got like hedges around it, like around the
Okay.
edges.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of. Steph wants a blow up swimming pool for the summer.
Of
But she's like,
course.
well, is that £100 for one of those or something? I'm like, oh,
Oh,
you'll
that's
use it. And also, we're not in like Thailand where like the water can get hot from the sun.
nah,
So
but mate,
like,
it's
it's going
hot
to be
this week.
freezing, mate.
This weekend has been warm. Next week's warm. It's looking tasty.
Bike rides are on the horizon, man. We're
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
talking about it.
Yeah. Nice man.
Yeah. And
Exciting.
also, my mum and dad came back from holiday as well. They've
Oh,
been
yeah.
away for quite a while, so it was good to go get them, and now they're back as well. So
Good stuff, man.
yeah, man.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. What about you? What about you, man? Tell me.
I have.
You've had a busy. You've been to some places, so you know.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, it's been a quieter week this week. After like a
That's like
very
the opposite
hectic.
of what I just said.
Yeah.
Like, man, you've had a
No,
busy week,
it's
haven't
been
you?
a quiet week this week, but yesterday I went to the Capture One event. So
Yeah.
Capture One asked me to come down to their event in London, which was cool. So
Mhm.
headed down there in Shoreditch area, and basically they were releasing their new or latest like update and talking about it, and also they had a couple of live sessions. So there was a portrait session that I went in and watched, and like the workflow of it and stuff, and then
Mm.
there was another session which was like a panel talk with 3 photographers, and they were talking about the business of photography.
Okay.
So
We love the business
we
side
do
of
love the business. So sat in
creative
on
stuff.
that, and that was really good. And so to kind of touch a little more on, for those that don't know, so Capture One I use a lot for editing. I switched like over a year ago now from Lightroom to Capture One.
Mm.
Love Capture One. Will never go back, and I think it's the far superior editing software.
It's
Anyone that
crazy, man, to hear you say that, because I remember a few years ago when you were still on Lightroom and you was learning Capture One,
yeah.
and now you're like, damn, because you was told these things by other people, I
Yeah,
think, that,
and now I tell them to other
yeah,
people.
yeah,
People DM me and they're like, "Oh, are you like is it better?" And I'm like, "Yes, it's way better." And I can't really tell you why. Just use it. Do you know what I mean? Just
yeah,
use it
yeah,
and just So yeah. Anyway, they've got a new section in their editing software called Retouch, and they were showing us like live demos of how it works, and it is very impressive to be fair. So it
okay,
retouches the skin essentially without having to take the image into Photoshop and like dodge and burn and get rid of blemishes and all that kind of stuff. It basically just has sliders for dark circles, and you push the slider up and it just gets rid of the dark circles like
oh, I
that.
see what you
And it
mean,
looks so
mm.
realistic. Like it doesn't look like it'll get rid of the dark circles and it doesn't look fake. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not,
Yeah,
because I think a lot of retouching you can do with skin is like they become really waxy and shiny and it just looks really fake.
yeah, 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 yeah,
But I was really, really impressed with the software. So they have like dark circles, they have contouring, so you can add contouring to face, and
okay,
and it just makes like it all look a lot better. There's a blemish slider, so it just gets rid of all the blemishes like that, but still
yeah.
looks very real and natural.
I think we have a similar thing in DaVinci Resolve for
Oh, really?
video.
Okay.
Yeah, like there is like dark circles and stuff, and it's interesting how it doesn't really show the area, and maybe it does in Lightroom. Sorry, that was a photography scene right
Oh,
there
not
in
Lightroom.
Capture One.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how it can recognize like what is dark circles, and instead of it just like accidentally doing eyebrows or something, it actually
Yeah.
does the proper face. So
And,
it's interesting.
and
Yeah.
it's got a face detection thing. So like if there's 5 faces within the frame, it'll detect 5 different faces, and you can adjust them all individually to how much you
Okay.
want each of those settings on the person, instead
Okay.
of it just like doing it to all of the faces. Because you might have a photo of 5 people and one person looks fucking knackered and has got dark circles and doesn't like the way they look,
Yeah.
and you can just target that one person and it detects the faces really quickly, and you just slide the adjustments and it's super quick.
Yeah. I
So
wonder how accurate that would be on certain shooting conditions. Like,
yeah, I
sure,
mean
maybe in a
it's pretty.
studio, obviously, it would be good. But I mean, I
Yeah,
wonder, if
yeah,
you're
true.
again, like if you're on a football pitch or if you've got the
Yeah,
sun
yeah,
behind you or something, I
yeah.
wonder. Yeah, it'd be
Well,
interesting.
well,
Yeah.
I'll find out and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool to work with Capture One. Like, so,
If
obviously,
Captron's listening and
if Capture
watching
One's
now,
listening, we've been speaking over email and stuff, so who knows? But
uh,
yeah, it's a cool piece of kit, and so they were kind of sharing that
yeah,
software and stuff with the event. So got a load of freebies. I got a nice tote bag. They gave me a coffee travel mug with their logos changed as well, so all the branding's changed.
okay, wow,
So they were announcing that. So yeah, it was like quite a big thing for them. Also, I just posted it on my story. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but
no,
Fuji released a new camera, which is the GR, no, the GF or the 100 X100 GR, or is it the GF? God, I can't remember now from the top of my head. Anyway, it's like the 102 megapixel medium format, like that's it. Sorry, it's the GFX 100RF. Apologies, I had a brain fart.
That's
So
quite a mouthful. Though. GFx100RF,
yes, the GFX 100
4700, bro.
RF, mate. Yeah, so it's pricey.
Damn.
So this
Yeah.
thing, so it's funny. Me and Fred were chatting about it when it came out. I was a bit like, it bugs me that they've releasing a £5,000 camera that's 102 megapixel and is super small and like compact and lightweight, so would be a competitor to like a Leica, but you can't change the lens. There's no interchangeable lenses. It's fixed, and it's fixed at like,
Uh,
I think it's 35 or 28 mil.
well, that's very Leica, isn't it? Like where you can get like Leica cameras where they don't let you change the lens, and then it makes you be more creative,
Yeah,
technically.
true.
So maybe they're
But
going for a little bit more of that angle.
anyway, Fuji were at the event, and like I hadn't really thought too much about this camera. But I was with my mate Ben, Ben Hickman, and he is a Fuji shooter. So Fuji were there, and he was like, "Oh, they might have the new X100RF. Like you can't even get it yet; it's not out. You have to pre-order it." Lo and behold, they had two of them. They had a black one and a silver one. So picked up this thing, and I was gobsmacked at how light this thing is and
And now
small.
you want it.
I mean, if I had the money to get it, like I would, but like for me, it would just be the perfect travel camera. Do you know what I mean? Like it's the
Yeah.
perfect like documenting your life, your travel life, your family life, some street photography, whatever. It'd be perfect for that. Like absolutely perfect. It's not really going to slot into my arsenal of cameras for like what I need with. I say arsenal of cameras like I have loads of cameras. My one other work camera. But it's not really going to work with kind of what I need. But if I had an unlimited amount of money, then I would probably look to buy it. It's a beautiful camera. It feels nice. It almost feels too light. When something's worth that much money, you've got it in your hand, and it feels just like so light. It's
Yeah.
wild. So that was a little concerning. But no,
Concerning.
it was well.
Okay.
As in, you can take that how you want. But it was
Concerning as a creative.
yeah, it's just like something that expensive shouldn't be that light. Like, but yeah, no, it looked like an impressive bit of kit. I didn't actually, shoot with it and use it, but now I would be interested in having a play with it and doing like probably an actual bit of a review in it.
Okay. Yeah.
Like taking it on holiday or something like that.
Well, if Fuji's listening, feel free to
I am
send me
going on
over.
holiday in a week or well, it's 10 days time, so
Oh.
maybe I will try and hire a camera and take it on holiday and do a little review. Who knows?
Ask Fuji if they'll send it you.
Mate, well, I'm currently emailing Sony, so.
Oh my god. Well,
Anywho,
first come, first serve.
moving swiftly on. But yeah, no. So the event was cool, and yeah, man, it was good fun. So other than that, I've just been working on some social content. You might have seen some reels going out. Whenever I get free time from shoots, it's usually like if I'm not doing that or a personal shoot, it's just like foot to the gas with the social content, really. Because trying to chase goals out here, as we all know. So
is that why you got invited to the Capture One? Is it because of your social presence?
no, well, I mean, maybe I had a part to play with it. I was in contact with Capture One a while ago. It was actually reaching out to them to sponsor the podcast, like a long time ago. But got chatting to them, and then they actually wanted me to speak, and then that didn't happen because the format changed. But they were like, "We'd obviously still love you to come anyway." So
Yeah.
that's kind of why I was there.
Okay.
But yeah, so hopefully, it's good to like meet some people from Capture One and hopefully do some more bits with them. But it's nice, like it'd be cool. It's cool to work with brands that you actually use day in, day out, and that you love and you can really advocate for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's also not it's advocating, but it's also it's basically knowing what works and what doesn't work and being able to kind of like say whatever they're doing with confidence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And especially
for
if you use it professionally as well, it's even better.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, mate, other than that, that was yesterday, and then obviously I've been doing some DIY at home.
Of course.
Me and Dad Dad kindly built some raised beds for the veggie patch in the garden, so we've been installing those.
Very
I've
nice.
got 850 kilos of topsoil and 500 kilos of gravel arriving on Tuesday, so feeling very manly when I ordered that today.
Are you like this as well? Like I was sat in the garden the other day and I was like, I would really, really like to become like self-sustaining where I don't need to go to the shop. It's just potatoes, carrots, you grow your fruit, and then I'm like, I'll literally just go to the butchers and maybe
Yeah,
the
you'll get
shop
your
for a
meat.
can of Monster or something. I don't know, but like I think it'd be so good
Yeah, you can't grow
to
your own monster, mate.
if I could grow the monster, I would. But just like I don't know, like all of a sudden you start thinking this stuff. And I'm like, man, that'd be
Oh
so
yeah,
much
mate,
better.
mate, all for it,
So
all
is that what
for
you're
it.
doing?
Yeah, so like we're gonna get 3 raised beds in: strawberries, raspberries, carrots, and spring onions. We're gonna get loads of stuff planted in there, and just
Mm.
like yeah, because Dad grows a lot of his own food, so he's pretty on it with all that kind of stuff. So he's gonna teach me the way of the warrior, and you
Ah,
know what is it? Teach a man to fish, and he'll never go hungry. You know that
something
saying?
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Teach a man to fish, and he'll never go hungry a day in his life. So
I
here we
think that's
are.
something. And yeah. I was gonna
So
say the one, but
yeah, so yep, doing that today, and then yep, gonna have a nice chilled weekend. Go cycling. Me and Yaz are going out for dinner tomorrow to celebrate a little
yeah,
personal career milestone.
amazing.
Um, yeah, basically last month. Well, I mean, I know you know this, but I'm say it for the podcast. Like I did the most ever revenue I've ever done in my 6 year career. In April. Oh yeah, it was April last month. So, not going to go into numbers or anything like that, but going to go and celebrate those little wins. So,
What what are you gonna do for celebrating? I know you're gonna go to a restaurant, but have you specified it? Like, is it gonna be the Shard? Like, like
oh no
how
no
far
no
are you
no
going?
no 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 no! I'm too tight for that. No, it's going to be. We're just going for a nice meal out in Stamford.
Mm,
Nice restaurant called Orbis. Heard good things. So just booked a table there for tomorrow night. So
yeah.
yeah, man, just like I think it's important to celebrate those little wins with like your loved ones and your people, and just to kind of acknowledge them, and just like cool. I remember when this was a crazy dream, I achieved that. Kind of like acknowledge it. It feels good. Okay, and we will probably sit and have a conversation over dinner about what's next, and that's
Mm,
one of the many things I love about my other half is that we can sit down and have a really good conversation, and she can kind of hold me accountable on like, that's great, I'm really proud of you, but like what's next, like what do you want to push for now, how do you want to go about it, and we're a real kind of team in that sense, and it's really nice to I'm excited to sit down with her and chat about that kind of stuff.
mm.
um so yeah, so like that'll be tomorrow evening, and just like celebrating those little milestones, which is nice.
Yeah, you do bring up a good point as well, which is I think articulating like kind of what goals you have and what you're aiming for, and even if it's not necessarily like a goal with a they say you're supposed to have a time limit to it, but I think just in general, if you know where your milestones are, then you can acknowledge them when they do happen,
Yeah,
and instead of being like, oh, one day I'll earn this, or oh, one day I want to shoot this, it's a bit more like I don't know, like having a bit more of like a thing, like, and
yeah.
I think I don't know, yeah, it makes me look at like what I'm doing and think, damn, maybe I should really specify
Because I
or
had
re-specify stuff as well. Yeah,
because I think I mentioned it on the podcast, didn't I? Where me and Yaz sat down on New Year's Eve, and
yeah,
we chatted for 3 hours about like, right, work goals, relationship goals, like what are we trying to, you know,
Mm.
getting in the same canoe and paddling in the same direction is really
yeah,
important,
that's a good
especially
way.
in relationships. Like, knowing that you want the same thing, what are the things you want to do together and achieve, and this, that, and that. So I set goals. I can't remember if I'm pretty sure I discussed my goals on the podcast, but like one of them was I don't know if I discussed what number it was, but I wanted to do a certain amount in revenue by the end of the year.
Mm.
And I'm about 80% of the way through that goal.
Good.
Or I'd say 70% of my way through that goal, and we're in like May, June. So
Yeah.
um, so once I get there, great, and then it'll be like reassess. But we'll talk about that kind of tomorrow at dinner, like, you know, like because I think like once you get your goal, it's like feels good, but you almost need to remotivate yourself again and kind of to go again, and you have to set a new goal, because if you don't, you kind of just like sit in it and you're like, oh yeah, and then you can kind of just like twiddle your thumbs and be like, cool, that was good, and you can really take your foot off the gas, I think,
Yeah.
and I
Well,
don't want that to happen. So
yeah, there's also a saying as well where there's no such thing as staying still. You either move forwards or you move backwards, because if you do stand still, then the world moves away from you.
yeah.
So really, there is no stagnation, and so
Yeah.
you do kind of have to recreate. Well, not recreate, but you have to create new things to carry on going, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
There was a question you wanted to ask me, and I can't remember what it was before we went on air.
I was going to ask when we were talking about it earlier. I was going to ask, do you think that you now making social content on a regular basis is the thing that has helped you hit this goal? Because obviously, I want to say like maybe around, was it like September? Maybe you started making social content properly,
Yeah.
and these things like social media and stuff isn't a it's not like a straight line, like it's not linear. It's like you make loads of content, nothing happens, and then 6 months later, it's like, oh, I've got this 6 shoot, and you've been kind of hitting like, oh, 6 shoot after 6 shoot, like opportunity after opportunity. Do you think that the social content and you uploading regularly is the thing that maybe everybody else should be doing as well? You know, like other photographers listening to this and other videographers, like, does it feel like, yes, like you should be doing it regardless, based
I
on this?
I don't know. This is the thing, right? Everyone's journey is different, and there are insane photographers out there getting 6 shoot after 6 shoot, and they're not posting a dime on social media.
Okay,
Like,
okay, but for let's say for like the
from
general
my,
person, because I remember last year you,
I can only talk about my experience.
yeah.
What were you going to say about last year?
Well, I was gonna say last year, like obviously you were still Matt Pearson, but I feel like most people aren't a world class photographer, and so what does everyone do? And so you started making social content, and you started showing up and saying, "Hey, I'm here," and now this year you're doing really well, and I'm like, surely that's also because of the social content, because you've put in the effort and you're in front of everyone all the time, and
Yeah.
at the
Okay.
minimum, is that like a recommendation? Like,
Obviously,
know,
like,
yeah,
right, so, yeah. So obviously, it might have had a part to play. Like, we don't know. Maybe I've just got really fucking lucky, and the last
Mm,
5 months this year has gone really well. But I also am a big believer in you create your own look.
yeah,
So that's a case of like showing up. Hi, I'm still here. You can hire me. This is my work. This is what I do. This is what I look like on set. This is how I interact with my
mm,
talent. This is the things I'm trying to achieve. Like, hi, and I always say it's like people that book in for mentoring, and they're like, oh, like we want to talk about marketing, and like I'll obviously say to them like, be so good they can't ignore you. Like, show up, like
yeah,
reminding your clients you exist. Like, hi, here's me on set, here's me on my stories. Like at work, it doesn't have to be you talking. It's like just, and I feel like I'm a broken record. I've repeated this so many times
yeah,
on the pod, so I don't want to go into it too much. But
mm,
you can go back and listen to those episodes. But yes, I think it probably has had an influence on it, and it's helped clients remind that I exist and I'm here,
yeah,
um, and find new people, and like yeah,
yeah.
potentially, yeah.
Because I think it's also is just like I don't want to say like the bare minimum, but like you was like last year, you was like worried about money and like you had to constantly chase projects and things like that. And this year it seems a little bit more the opposite. But the thing that changed was the social stuff. And I'm just thinking, if you're someone else that is like listening to this, then maybe like something that you can do, which you can kind of action whenever,
Yeah,
is
well,
just uploading. Like it
it's
is
not
just a
it is, yeah, but it's not just social stuff. So like I'm like speaking
all
to
right,
people, like
yeah,
I'm maintaining like the network that I've created. I'm like touching base with people. I'm asking to meet for coffees. I'm asking for meetings. I'm
yeah,
um just like touching base and just doing all those like soft skills. And I'm shooting personal projects. Like
mm,
Puma asked me to do their football shoot because I went out and did my own personal football shoot, and they saw it on TikTok and they were like, "We love this. Can you do that for us?"
yeah,
Like, do you know what I mean? So and I posted that on social media, yes. So they've seen it, yes. So it's landed me a job, yes.
yeah,
Perfect example. But I also went out and found someone to shoot and put a team together and executed a personal project that I was proud of. And that in itself is like a whole separate kind of, you know,
yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Um,
I just think that it sounds like the default though. Like for example, when I start kicking back down and stuff, and if I do want to go into 3D and stuff, then immediately what I'm going to do is doing what you're doing, which is reaching out to people,
yeah,
posting on social, and trying to do personal projects. And they're like the three things where I'm like, yeah, of course.
yeah.
And so it seems like it's working really well for you. Which so it's like, oh, I guess it's simple but not easy. Like it's
Yes.
simple but not
I
easy.
love.
Yeah.
There's a guy on TikTok. He's like higher at wellness. I don't know if you, but he always
Mm,
says this like getting in shape and staying fit. Like it's a really simple process. It's just not easy.
yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like it's easy to throw up a story of yourself, like just editing at your desk and posting some BTS on your like from your phone, or like just going out and shooting a personal project and shouting about it. Like,
Mm,
um, they're like simple things to do, but showing up regularly isn't easy. And like, I need people to hold me accountable to show up.
mm,
Like
yeah.
Jack, who we've had on the podcast, good friend of mine, and we hold each other accountable a lot. And we'll call each other out if we're not showing up. And I think like you need people around you like that can kind of like hold you accountable. And if you're not kind of whether it's posting enough, shooting enough, picking up your camera enough, yeah, like I've said many times, this is just my marketing strategy, and it is partly, but I also said, and I think I've said it on the podcast, I want to use my social media as another revenue stream, and that's why I'm also trying to grow it.
Yeah.
So like it's a I have realized that I don't just want to rely on photography. When I've got kids and a family, I want multiple revenue streams, whether that's photography, podcast, my socials, property, like whatever it is. So I am working my ass off and showing up in order to fulfill those like goals, and it's just as simple as that. Like I'm me, you don't have to do that. This is just like my experience, and like you can take that or leave it. You don't have to listen to the
Mm,
podcast. You don't have to. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. 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 No, but that's really good though.
yeah,
And also to what you were saying originally, like, yeah, that's really great, man. And I think
thanks,
that
bud.
a lot of people should, even though you've just said that this is your experience, I think it's something's obviously working. So basically, just copy Matt. Like, yeah,
I mean, today I want to touch on very, very akin. Is that the right word? Very akin. Very.
I have no idea. I'm
let's
not
let's
that.
pretend akin is the right word. The fact that Cameron has obviously moved into new house. He's doing up his office. I've got a new office space here. So we want to talk about the importance of a workspace, a home office space, a workspace, a creative space, and why that is important, why you should have one. What our previous, I think it would be good for us to get into what our previous workspaces have been like and how we found that, and how we've got on with those things. So, um, first off, Cameron, I'm going to ask you, what was your first ever desk setup, workspace, creative space like? And what was the good things about it, the bad things about it?
So when you ask me that question, it makes me think back to when I used to make YouTube videos in my bedroom when I lived at my parents, and I think it was like a 2011 iMac or something, or a 2009 iMac, and I literally had like a Blue Yeti microphone here, and it was just that screen, and it was in my chair. Like, yeah, it was, I guess, similar to what I had a screen basically and a
Yeah,
microphone.
because
Um,
I feel like there's levels to a home work setup, right? It's
Mm.
you're working at your kitchen table at your laptop. Then it's like you get a
yeah.
dedicated desk where you have a monitor and your laptop. And then
Hmm.
but where that thing is dependent. So, in London, we're,
Nowadays.
so we're in the fortunate position now where we have our own offices, and like the
Mm.
room we have is like our office. We're fortunate because we've left London, property's cheaper up north. We can afford to have a room that is our
Yeah,
office.
I would still be in a bedroom if I was in
Yeah.
London.
So when I
Every
was in
single time.
London for 6 or 7 years, I had the desk literally. So actually, the first house we moved into, the desk was in the kitchen because I couldn't fit a desk in my room, but my bedroom.
Yeah.
And then when we moved over to like Clapham and stuff, I had a fairly big room and I had the desk in my bedroom. Now, going from just having, or even people go to coffee shops and work with their laptops as well, don't they? So there's like finding things that work for you. But I think having a desk setup with a monitor and a laptop and making it a nice space to be is like the first step in the right direction for really just it allows you to lock in. I think like it allows you to lock in and sit and work and just like especially when you're editing and you have to like grind away you know, whether it's editing video or
Yeah.
photo, and gets jobs done like that. Having a screen, having two screens, having multiple tabs open so you can see what you're doing, all that like workflow, it's just way, way better.
Yeah, and I do think that everybody can work from a laptop and they can work in a coffee shop or on the go. And but the difference though is that I think it's more of like if you're ticking boxes, like you're working on a client project and you just need to edit it or grade your photos, retouch them or whatever, then that's fine. But when you need to think of projects and you need to do personal projects, like you almost need to just like surround yourself in like your own comfortable space, whether even if that's like sat in your living room or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But doing that stuff when you're out and about or on a laptop, it all feels a little bit like claustrophobic maybe. And I think everyone kind of discovers what they prefer to do. Because I used to work on a laptop ages ago, and I used to be like, "Why?" And I used to work on the trackpad and even have a mouse or keyboard. And then one day, someone was like, "Here's a mouse. Use the mouse, and I guarantee you'll be better." And I was like, "Fine." And then after that day, I was like,
Yeah.
"Whoa!" And I
You
thought I was
always had a
fine the way I
mouse.
was. So I think, yeah, like definitely, like if you can curate that's just the desk stuff, though. It's not even the room. It's
Yes,
like the
this is,
desk.
I think that's the thing.
Yeah,
That's the thing I want to get onto. But
there's levels, as you said.
before we get onto that, it's people also, it's what works for you, right? People also got a lot of benefit in, and sometimes in London, if I needed to get out of the house, I would go to a coffee shop and I could work really hard. You've got the background noise, you can just lock in and work away. So I think it's always nice to switch it up. Like, especially when you're in London, you're working in your bedroom, you sleep in your bedroom, then you're also working all day in your
I
bedroom.
used to work in my bed sometimes. I used to be sat on the
Yeah, you
laptop.
did,
Yeah.
which is wild. Which is wild. So I just don't think that's a healthy combo, like personally. So
Well,
it's good
yeah,
to get out your house, and like it's good to go sit in a coffee shop or sit in your living room and do some work for half the day, and then go somewhere else and change spaces. Because I think sleeping in your room all night and then working in your room all day and you're in the same space, it then doesn't feel like a creative space that you step into, which is what I wanted to come on to next. Because now we've got our own rooms, and obviously I'm aware we're privileged and not everyone's like in this position. But if you can create a space that's truly yours, and it's got your things in and your memorabilia and your best memories and your best work, and everything's all organized, and you've got all your kit and you've got your kit drawer, and you know, you it's like your den. It's like your man cave, woman cave, whatever you want to call it. It's your cocoon. It's your place to
yeah,
feel relaxed, create, think of projects, sit on the sofa, listen to some music, flick through some photo books. You love that idea. I could do that with this, you know, and really kind of find your own like peace.
yeah. I do like what you said though about there being levels to it because I think you start by being okay working on a laptop, and then one day you might get a mouse and keyboard, and then you're like, oh, this is a bit better, and then you keep going until eventually, and then I got to a point where when I did have a desk, but I still had a laptop, I'd be like, I'm not going to edit this on the train. I'm going to wait till I go home.
Yeah,
And then you start getting into that. I can't work on the train. I'm going to work when I get back. And
yeah.
so you start putting these like barriers in place. But I wanted to ask you, what are the things that you value when you are making your office right now? Like, is it the, is it your monitor and having like your stuff around you? Like, what a good desk? Like, what are the
The
things that you go to?
most important things I think is having a good desk.
Okay.
Like, I've got a big desk because I like to have like lots of things on it, but
Bro's got a dining table,
I've got a
mate.
dining table, yeah, which is so fucking bougie of me. So
Got that headmaster desk.
yeah, that's the vibe I was going for. Um, I think mouse and keyboard are the two biggest wins. Wireless mouse, wireless keyboard, and then if you can plug your laptop into a monitor, sweet. Like, I'd be happy with that. Like,
Yeah.
it's just nice having like a proper big keyboard, and then a mouse, and then everything else is up there. I've got two screens that I work with. Obviously, my MacBook screen, and then I've just got like a wider 34-inch Samsung
Yeah.
screen.
That's crazy that having your laptop and just one other screen is like 90% of people, like, you can do 90% of things with just your laptop and an additional screen.
Oh yeah, I could
Like,
do
and a
everything.
keyboard and mouse. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
The only thing that I would
such a
change, I
goes so
would
far.
get Apple Studio Display, because obviously, if I'm when I'm editing and
It's
when
on
I'm
the
color
list.
grading and editing, the Samsung obviously screen isn't color calibrated to like the Apple
Yeah,
screens.
and as a video person with color grading as well, even if you calibrate them, it doesn't calibrate them the same as like what an Apple color would look like.
Yeah,
So there's literally, if you're not even getting accurate colors after calibrating, then you might as well just fucking use an Apple display.
yeah, they're just a
Um,
little bit pricey, just a little bit
yeah,
pricey.
yeah. I was
One
gonna
day,
get the XDR one years
oh,
ago. You know, the
mate,
$6,000 one.
why? What a waste of money that would have been.
There's reasons. There's reasons.
No, that'd have been
No,
such
no,
a waste of money.
no. Seriously. Well, I think from more of a video perspective, but obviously it's overkill. The only reason, first of all, I'm not getting the studio display because it's 27-inch, and it's like I'll get that, and then they'll bring out a 32, and I'm like, nah, fam. So
Yeah,
at the moment, you can only get the 32 if you get the XDR display, and it's just so expensive, it's not worth it for the general person like me and you or whatever.
yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah,
holding out.
that's the only thing I would. I love my Samsung screen. Love a 34-inch
Mm,
monitor. I can have have my WhatsApp open, my Spotify, my Internet Explorer, my browser, emails, all on that, and then I'm editing on Capture One on my laptop screen.
yeah.
You know, or I'll have Capture One open on the big screen, and I'm making selects and like culling images and deciding how I want to crop stuff before I actually go into the actual editing of it.
Can you do a clean feed from so when I'm in Resolve and I'll be video editing and coloring, I'll have my editing software on this screen, but I can run a clean feed like where it's just a full window of the video onto my laptop, and
You
so I can see the colors, but I can have the video on my main screen and I also have the video on my laptop at the same time, so I can see both.
Yeah,
And
you probably can. I'm sure a digi that's listening might be able to tell me that
okay,
you can. But
just
yeah,
search
I'm
the
not a wizard
internet
with
for
that.
3 seconds
Yeah,
and
I'm
it'll
not a
probably
wizard
tell
with.
you.
I'm not a wizard with that stuff. But
Yeah.
like, I like just having it all on one screen and the
Mm.
sliders on next to the image. But yeah, so that's the only thing I would change. But I think it's so important. Just even if you can put up like posters that you like, and
Mm.
you know, yes, like if it's your bedroom, it's just like trying to create a corner of your bedroom that you can kind of like make a little different, and having a nice desk chair and a little desk and a little monitor and cameras around and plugging stuff up on the wall and posters, and just even if it's photos of you and your family and your friends and these little things that mean a lot to you. Like behind me I've got um here's a here's a acorn cone. Oh no, what?
That
No,
was not
acorn.
what I was
Pine
expecting you to grab.
cone.
I was like, oh,
But
he's
this,
getting a book or
like
something.
this is from a holiday a long time ago. The Barbados Mount Gay rum right
Yeah.
there. That's from a lad's holiday that we did like in 2020. That
Mm.
right there, that racket, that was my nan's tennis racket, and she won this tournament and got coached at Wimbledon by Fred Perry. That was her tennis racket.
Jesus.
So like
Okay.
I've got these little things in my room that obviously like, and I've got my artwork up. There's the Ella
Mm.
Henderson album cover. We've got the Ashley Walters magazine cover, Green Bay Packers Polaroids. We've got the Queens of Air print. The Rugby World magazine's going up behind me soon. So I've
Mm.
got stuff around me of like my favorite shoots, my favorite little bits of memorabilia that mean a lot to me, and they bring me good memories. We've got the Virat Kohli. I've got to show this. This is probably like one of my favorite pieces of memorabilia. I'm just going to turn my WhatsApp off. Sorry if you heard that.
No, sorry. Oh, I see. Yeah, 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 I remember this. Okay.
So this is
Wow.
did the 4-day shoot with Virat Kohli, the very
Mm.
famous cricket player, and he wrote this lovely long message that on the cricket bat. Matt, thanks for a great shoot and loads of fun doing this Puma campaign. Cheers, Virat, with his signature. 22nd of the 6th, 2023, and I stuck a Polaroid of him there just to top it all off. So like this will
That's
stay on. Do you know
crazy.
what I mean? So like this will stay with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And it's like I've got just like things like that around the room. I've got some signed rugby balls, and the Exeter team signed a kit for me down there, and just like, do you know what I mean? These little things that you collect over time when you're doing your job, whether that's like guest passes or access all areas passes and little stickers, and do you know what I mean? Like all those
Oh
little
mate, I've
things.
got a drawer of access passes and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah,
You constantly come home with them.
yeah,
But I think when you're in London, it really does make you not prioritize those because you do think like it not necessarily that it's a luxury, but like again, putting stuff on walls in places that you're renting and things like that, especially in London, like it's very like you're not sure. Like I don't know, I don't know, yeah. And then to then actually put them up, especially for me, where I'm experiencing taking stuff out of a box from 4 years ago and being like, holy shit, it just makes such a world of difference. And so it makes me think I could have hung stuff on the walls years ago when I was, and
Yeah,
through all my years in London, I could have done that, and I didn't because I just thought, oh well, like, what's the point? I'll put up maybe I'll have a picture on the floor like against the wall,
yeah.
but I'm not going to put it up,
It's funny
and it just
when
makes such a difference, man. Honestly, it
it
makes such a
does.
difference.
Well, it's funny. My mates used to take the piss out of me. Whenever we moved house in London, I was that person that had to like get his room done the day we moved in because I
Oh
had
yeah,
to have it like mine. Like, had to get all the artwork up on the wall. I had to put all my photos on the wall with like friends and family. Had to like I have to do the whole thing immediately.
Mm.
Else I couldn't relax and couldn't like.
Yeah.
It had to feel like home. So I think it's important to do that stuff, and some people are into it, some people aren't. But I think it's important to create a space because you'll get more creative ideas. You'll feel better about working in these kinds of spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think no brainer if you can, if you're in the position to do it, it's a no brainer.
What's something that, say, like if you did have to move or like what change your room or whatever, what's something that you would have to go with? Would it be the keyboard and mouse?
Keyboard, mouse, and monitor are the three biggest, like
Okay,
the most important things as well. I think
interesting.
obviously it's important to have a comfy desk chair if you're sat in it all day. Um,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think if you're in it a lot.
No, no, I think you can get away with it. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
That is- yeah, there's some.
Like
Just
I
thinking
spent
back to
60
like what
quid
I
on
used to
this
sell.
desk. I spent 60 quid on this desk chair, but I think you spent quite a lot on that one, didn't you? How much did you spend on your desk chair?
Mate, mine was 550.
No, it wasn't. No, it
Mate, every
wasn't.
time you say this, you go,
No.
"How much was your tripod?" And I'm like, 3 grand. And
Yeah,
then you're like, "How
well,
much is your chair?" Oh, 500.
mate, you could have got Herman Miller. Do you know what a Herman Miller
Mate,
is?
I know
Do
what,
you know
mate.
what?
Of
Do you,
course I know what Herman Miller is. Yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
sat in a Herman
Mate,
Miller on a shoot recently, and I was bloody gobsmacked, mate. I sat on this Herman Miller chair, and it basically like wrapped itself around my body, and I
yeah.
sat in it, and I was like, oh
Just
my god.
immobilized.
Oh, it was the nicest thing ever, but like Herman Miller sent the guy the
Mm,
chair for free, but it was like
yeah,
two
yeah.
grand chair. I was
Well,
just
this is
like,
why you should keep making your social content, Matt, and everybody getting all this stuff for free.
I'm sorry, but I'm not. Well, I was about to say I'm not paying for a Herman Miller chair. If they want to
Oh,
send me a
no,
Herman
no.
Miller chair, then fine. But
Oh, yeah. Especially if you have a YouTube channel, they do that a lot.
yeah,
But,
so,
I mean, like, I've got to be honest, though, a lot of the stuff that I have in my space, I curated over quite a long time. Like, I don't use it anymore, but I did have an ultra wide. Mate,
mm.
I got that ultra wide back in like 2017
Yeah,
when
you
I
did.
was
Yeah,
building my PC.
yeah,
Um, and like this chair, Secret Labs, is my chair for anybody that can't see it.
yeah.
Um, and I used to have a Secret Labs chair 5 years ago or
I'm
6 years ago, and then I bought another one when that one like worn out and I moved and stuff. And I'm probably going to have this for the next 7 years or so. You know
Well,
what I
I'm pretty
mean?
sure I've seen them flogging them on TikTok Shop for about 100 quid. So
Mate, this is a League of
Secret Lab,
Legends arcane themed Secret Labs chair. This is the real shit. Like,
that's
but
lost on me. That means nothing to me.
mate, you see what I mean? You don't appreciate like what not culture. What is it? Comic book, whatever. There's like a word. Um, pop
It's
pop
not
culture.
pop
Maybe
culture.
it's pop culture. I don't know. But yeah, man. Well, that's your stuff. I mean, my thing that I would probably prioritize, honestly, is a keyboard and mouse, and I really, really like my speakers.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
love
have
your speakers,
speakers for
don't
a
you?
long time. I didn't
Yeah,
have any for a long time. Mate, I got them. Changes the experience of your entire thing in your room. Like playing
yeah,
music, you don't realize how shit the music is you've been listening to until you put them through some speakers, and they're fairly cheap. I mean, I have the Yamaha HS7s, and it was 300 quid or 350. And I was, as someone who buys camera gear, I was like, whoa, 350 quid. I was expecting them to be like 3 grand. Like,
yeah.
and
No,
so
I mean, I've just got
300
a little
quid is a
Polaroid speaker.
small, yeah, but I mean, £300 for something that you're going to use all the time and you're going to have them probably forever is
Yeah,
like
true.
such a good investment.
It's
And so if
perspective.
anyone is,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, yeah. My,
Fair.
Do you have any IKEA drawers? I have some IKEA drawers that I can't live without.
No, I
What about
don't.
cable management? Do you cable manage? You've got it. You've got it.
Under my desk. So yeah, so I have like a cable management tray under my desk where like the extension lead sits in and all the
Mm.
cables, which I
It's a bare
recently
minimum.
installed. Yeah. Um, and then I've got these things. It's a sticker thing, and the I don't know if I've got one. I
Oh,
had
do the cables slot into it?
the cables slot into it so they don't
Yeah.
run off the desk and they stay
Yeah.
on. I've got one of them, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so because we're remote now and everything, what do you feel about like your setup kind of encompassing sort of everything in a sense of like, you plug your laptop in, everything just connects. Like when you're on Zoom calls or if you're on this podcast, your camera just kind of connects and it works. Like from my perspective, because I used to live stream video games, there's something about just being able to turn stuff on and it's all connected. Like, oh, if I jump on a Zoom call, my camera's already there. Like I don't need
Yeah.
to set stuff up really. And do you find it a bit cozy where you have like your main desk where it just does everything?
Yeah, I think so. This isn't like when I'm on Zooms and stuff, it's completely straight on. I would quite like to bring this camera around so it is more front on,
Yeah, we
if you'd
only have
let
off to
me.
the side for the pod. Yeah, but well, it's for the pod. But
Yeah, because yours is
you
pretty
know,
fronty, to be fair.
well, my camera's off to the side, but I moved my window to the left, so you're actually next to my camera. Like
Okay,
if I
yeah.
move you even further over, you can see my eyes like move,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and then
fair.
if I move you back, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's not
So
bore people about that.
sorry,
Yeah. No, no,
mate, I'm a
no.
nerd.
That's
I'm a
fine. So
nerd. I love
basically,
technology.
the
So
takeaway is if you haven't already finessed your desk space, then it's definitely worth doing just to get fresh creative ideas. Even if it's just a mouse and a keyboard to start with, even if it's just a stand for your laptop so it's at eye level, so your
oh
neck's
yeah,
not hurting you.
yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Just all these little things that you can do that do make a difference to your creative space. Playing some music, having
But
your
just
own little.
try it.
Yeah, just
Just
try
try
it.
it. Like a
Yeah,
lot of these things, you can be like, don't need it or waste of money, and then it's like, give it a go.
yeah.
You
Give it a
even
go.
just raising your laptop off your desk and having a stand, it's like,
Yeah, game
yeah,
changer. Game
definitely,
changer.
definitely.
Sweet. Well, let's end the episode there. We've
Okay,
rambled
well,
on enough. We've rambled on enough. But yeah, if you've made it this far, we appreciate you very much. If you could leave a 5-star review if you like the show on Spotify, on our Spotify page,
and
that
subscribe to the YouTube channel.
and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can
Yes.
also subscribe to the newsletter, which is in our Instagram bio. We share a weekly creative of the week and let you know about the new episode. So you can find that there, and we will see you in the next one. Oh, and we've got guests coming, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, there's been a bit of
Finally,
a pause on the guests whilst we got
yeah.
everything set up remote,
But
but
now we're back
we'll
up and
come in. Yeah.
running, and there's going to be guests coming on now we're remote, and the first one is coming live from the United States of America. So yes, so we will see you in the next episode. Peace out.
Bye, guys.